Hey guys, it's Debbie with Debbie J's Crafting Corner, and I'm ready for a little more Halloween crafting. Today we're going to be working with the blank of the month, which are these polished circular coasters. And this is a card that I recently made on a Twitch stream, and yeah, I've got more ideas for this specific card, including a class coming up, so stay tuned. But I thought this design would be fabulous on the coaster. And here's what's better, the moon is exactly the same size. So we're gonna take out our paints, we're gonna do some paint mixing and that sort of thing, and we're gonna try to make that lovely witch with the moon on our coasters. So let's go ahead and get started. So I created this on a recent Twitch live stream using some stencils that I've had in my stash for about a year and not used from Picket Fence Studio. I actually bought them last year after Halloween when they went on sale. So that's a great way to increase your stash. This one is using the, we'll look that up again, the Haunted Moon and the Flying Witch stencils. So it's actually using two different stencil sets. One has this A2 size card. It's got an etched line on there to show you right where you need to place your cardstock. And it has a mask for the witch, so you could do two different ways, right? You could either mask it off or you could stencil. And then there is the Haunted Moon that has all the bits for you to be able to make this layered moon. I absolutely love it. But I want to do it on the stencil. It's like as soon as I saw, on the coaster, as soon as I saw the size of the coaster, I thought that would be perfect. And it is exactly the same size. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, the one thing I have not done, though, is I have not created a blend of colors to kind of mimic the grays. We want everything to be kind of close together, but most of the colors I've used in the past have been, I always use the ink pads or the markers, and they typically are the color that those are. They don't really do a blending. So this time I'm doing something I don't do often, and I have grabbed out some of the paints, and I'm going to be doing some mixing of the grays. Now, I'm of the opinion whenever you're doing anything with color, it doesn't matter what kind of coloring it is, whether it is markers or ink blending, whatever you're doing, you might want to go ahead and do a swatch. So that's what I've done here. This is some polyester material that I got as kind of just a scrap from Joann's a long time ago. Haven't used it all up, and I went ahead and did a little bit of mixing to mix some things up and see what the colors would look like when they're pressed, because this looks completely different than this. The black is true black. That's going to be perfect for our witch. And then I've got 3 different shades of gray, and then I added a drop of the brown in to the lightest gray, and to me it looks a little bit green. Anyway, we're going to be messing around with it, and regardless, it's still going to look good for the moon, but I do want to have that little bit of a variation of color when it comes to the different shades. So I've got a little palette out, and that's what we're going to use. First things first, though, let's go ahead and trace out, although I know it's the right size, we're going to go ahead and trace out our blank here, just like we always do. The reason that you do this is so you know where you need to put your design. So I went ahead and did 2 circles on my card, on my paper. This is just a plain copy paper. You don't need anything fancy for this. And I'm going to go ahead and mix up 3 different colors of gray based on my swatch. I think I'm not going to do the brown, although the brown would probably be cool. I think what I'm going to do is stick with the 2 lightest colors of gray, although I may go a little bit lighter, because I could definitely go a little bit lighter than that. And the lightest one was a 1 to 9 mix. Now, I was basically just experimenting. On the website, there is a mixing chart for just some standard colors. The standard one for a gray color is 1 to 8. So I'm going to go, 1 to 10. Let me look back at that page. It is on the website, so you can definitely find that over on the Artistry website. So for gray, it's 1 to 10. I think I might want it actually even lighter than what they have there. So I'm going to put 1 drop of the black, which looks kind of purple, and let's go with 12 drops of the white. Okay, and I want to go with the next to darkest of, the next to lightest that was on my swatch here. So if I go with a light, so it's going to be lighter than this for the background, and then I can go this dark for the next color, and then this one for the next one up, I think. And this one was black. This was black plus 3 drops of white, and this one was 6 drops of white. So that's what I'm going to go with for this part. So we've got 12, 6, and 3. And I think I went a little bit overboard on that one. That's okay. So to start off with, I want to start off with the lightest for this. So I'm going to mix that up. I'm just using a cheap craft brush for this. Nothing fancy. And these are disposable, so I can just chuck it when I'm done. I'm going to go over the entire thing. I'm going to do this on both of them. So this is the base color. This is going to be the background of our moon. And this is thin enough that it is drying pretty quickly. Okay, so we're not going to have to worry about it. I may have to do a little more mixing, but that's okay too. Let me go ahead and grab my first stencil. And that's going to be this one. So we're going to go about where the outline of our circle is. And I'm just going to tape this down with some mint tape. And then we're going to just pounce it on there. Okay, I used my heat gun to speed up the drying a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit, because I want to go ahead and get this done. I've mixed in that darker color of gray, and we're going to go ahead and pounce these down. And it shouldn't need a second batch of the paint because this is a smaller area that we're doing. Next, we're going to do our little witch. So I'm going to tape her down again as well, using a little bit of mint tape to hold the stencil in place. And I'm going to try to get her positioned about in the center. So the two sides are right about here. And of course, I can rearrange a little bit where I want it once we have once we're tapering her down to the blank. So that's going to be fine. So let's go ahead and tape her down. And then I'm going to take just some black. And I did kind of sort of clean out the little wells there and put it onto another piece of paper, because who knows, I may want to do something else with that gray. No need in wasting the paint, right? And I'm going to just dab this on just like we did before. I'm probably going to need more of the paint just because this is a bigger area and we're not diluting it at all. Just pouncing that right on there. So now I have two versions. Now here's another reason why doing a second one on any of your projects is sometimes a good idea. This one, it looks like I got some of a black in places I didn't really want it. That's supposed to be a bat. And then on her little tushy there, she didn't get quite enough, right? This other one looks almost perfect. This is the one I'm going to use for my coaster. So let's go ahead and trim this down and add that to our coaster. We're just going to tape it down using some heat resistant tape. This is the heat resistant tape from Artistry. I just have it in this little unicorn so I can keep track of it. Before I add it, I am going to clean it really nicely with some alcohol. This is a little bottle of alcohol I keep on my desk. So I'm keeping that nice and clean in case there are any fingerprints or anything like that that might hinder the image. Now I'm going to place this sublimation side, white side, and down onto my project, and then we will add our tape. So next we're going to make our sublimation sandwich. Now what you need for that is you need your protective paper and of course your blank. And the way that it works, this is the sublimation paper from Artistry. It is a siliconized paper made of silicone, so it works fabulous for this, and this is what the pros use, so that's what I like to use. So we're going to have one layer beneath our design and blank, and we're going to have one layer on top. So think of it like a hamburger. You've got your bottom bun, then you've got your hamburger, then you've got your cheese, and then you've got your other bun. So now we have our sublimation sandwich. We've got the bottom bun, we've got the hamburger and the cheese, which is our blank and our design, and then we've got the top bun. And I'm going to use my Cricut Easy Press for this. I thought about using my big heat press since it was already heated up, but it's actually, the blank is too thick to work in that one. So I'm going to go ahead and just press straight down. Do not shift it. If you shift it, you could cause your design to ghost. And then hit the button, and then we'll just wait 60 seconds for our design to be complete. Okay, so let's take a look. So just looking from this side, I can see that our design has at least transferred some. You can see the heat. So let's take a look, see if we can get a sneak peek. And it ghosted. So this is really creepy looking, but it's not the look that I was going for. I'm pretty sure I know the reason for that amount of ghosting on there. I did try this in my heat press, and it was, there wasn't enough space in there for me to actually do a good press in my clamshell. So yeah, I think it was me trying a couple of times and just shifted around a little bit, but it does look creepy, and I'm probably going to still use it. But let's see if we can get a better one using the one that isn't quite right, meaning our bat that you can't even see on here. Our bat's not going to be about right, and that should be fine, but we do have some kind of cool looks there. Let's go ahead and just try this one again. I'm going to go ahead and tape this down just like we did before. Plus, if this one doesn't turn out okay, I can always do something on the additional. I already went ahead and drew a circle. That additional that we did the gray paint on. Okay, so we have our bun on the bottom, our first piece of protective paper. We have our blank with the design, and then we have our second piece. And I do have my Easy Press over here all heated up. So let's go ahead and try this again. Go straight down, hit the button, and wait 60 seconds. Okay, let's take a look. And that one also got a bit of a ghosting look. And I'm not exactly sure why, other than maybe the paint was just not quite right. I also didn't have it positioned quite right, so that kind of gave it a little bit of a different creepy look. Okay, we're going to try this one more time. And this time we're going to go stick with just the plain. We're not going to do all of the additional layers of the moon, because that was a bit dark compared to our witch there. Instead, we're just going to go with straight black right in the place of our witch. So let's go ahead and stencil that one down. So just on the off chance that it might have shifted because of not enough tape, I put a lot more tape down. So we're going to try this one more time. It's a good thing that there's 4 in a pack, right? Okay, let's go ahead and press. And wait 60 seconds. Okay, fingers crossed. Okay, this part looks good. So let's take a quick peek, please. So, looks like we probably got a good transfer. And there we go. I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't really look like the what I had envisioned initially for our background. Instead, we can see all of the brush strokes, but I think that gives it kind of a cool texture as well. We probably could have gone over it with the moon, but I am very happy with that. So it may have just been I didn't have enough tape down. So that is just, hopefully I will remember for next time. You guys will remember. Make sure you have plenty of tape holding your blank down so that it doesn't shift and give you something like one of these. So even the ones that didn't turn out quite right, I think they look creepy. I am one of those folks that believes that when it comes to Halloween crafting, yeah, doing something then messing up actually looks pretty cool. So I kind of wish I had a combination between this guy and those. Like this one for the silhouette of the witch and those for the backgrounds. Looks really, really creepy and cool. But now I have 3 new Halloween coasters. I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to check out the playlist to see more videos where I'm using artist-free products. And y'all have a wonderful spooky day. Bye, guys.